What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a guide to Irelia, the Blade Dancer. Irelia is a highly mobile assassin, relying on smart use of her core ability Blade Surge to dash between targets and create openings to take out important enemy members. She's an intense, highly mechanical champion that requires a lot of practice for her to play properly. So if you love the idea and challenge of mastering a difficult hero that can be very rewarding, Irelia may just be the choice for you. Let's get into the guide. Irelia is traditionally played either in the mid lane or Baron lane, having access to powerful early game burst damage and dueling potential, allowing her to tackle a variety of matchups. Her laning phase typically revolves around stacking up her passive, giving her a powerful damage spike and allowing her to quickly take down her foes. With proper practice, Irelia has the tools in her kit to allow you to navigate any matchup if you understand how to use your abilities correctly, and with consistent laning, you'll easily be able to snowball and take over the entire game. Irelia's passive is Ionian Fervor, which is broken into two parts. Hitting enemies with Irelia's abilities will grant her a stack of Ionian Fervor, granting her bonus attack speed for 6 seconds, and stacking up to 4 times. At maximum stacks, Irelia will deal additional magic damage on hit, making her much stronger once she is able to fully stack it up. Ionian Fervor is perhaps the most important part of Irelia's lane phase, as she is practically uncontestable when she is fully stacked, so you should always try to use your abilities to be able to quickly stack up Ionian Fervor before committing to trades with your lane opponent. Irelia's first ability is Blade Surge. This ability causes Irelia to dash through an enemy, dealing physical damage and healing Irelia for a small amount. Additionally, Blade Surge's cooldown will be immediately refreshed if it kills the target, or if you cast Blade Surge on a target marked by her other abilities. Blade Surge is a unique aiming mechanic in Wild Rift, where tapping the ability will cause you to dash to any target you are locked onto or auto-locked onto by the game, whereas if you drag the ability a short distance, you will immediately dash to any targets in range the Blade Surge will execute, allowing you to refresh the cooldown and use it quickly in succession. Mastering this aiming mechanic will be key if you want to succeed on Irelia, so make sure to try it in practice mode. Irelia's second ability is Defiant Dance. This allows Irelia to channel for up to 1.5 seconds, during which she will take 50% reduced damage from all sources. Upon releasing the button, Irelia will whip her blades in a target direction, dealing physical damage that increases by up to 100% when fully charged. Using Defiant Dance is an excellent way to mitigate an important part of your opponent's damage combo, so make sure to adapt its usage to key parts of how the enemy champions play, such as during their ultimates, to get the most value that you can. Irelia's third ability is Flawless Duet. Irelia first casts an initial blade to a target location, and then can reuse the ability within the next 3 seconds to place a second blade in a new location. The blades then converge between both points, dealing magic damage and stunning any units in between for 1 second. This ability also marks any enemy champions and large monsters here, allowing Irelia to use Blade Surge on them and refresh the cooldown instantly. Make sure to try to lead any trades with Flawless Duet, and this will allow you to get additional Blade Surge proc off during the trade and do massive damage to your opponent. Irelia's ultimate is Vanguard's Edge. Irelia fires a storm of blades at a line that deal magic damage, marking any champion's hit. Upon colliding with an enemy, the blades will then expand into a diamond-shaped wall that deals damage to any opponent that walks into it, as well as massively slowing them. Vanguard's Edge is key to Irelia's teamfighting, allowing her to quickly mark multiple targets with good aim and let her dash to the teamfight and quickly build up her passive. The resulting blade wall will also give her team great control over her opponent's move speed, especially should they try to retreat, and can help her and her team chase down any foes that survive her initial onslaught. For your skill order, you'll want to start by maxing Blade Surge first, as this is Irelia's core ability, and you'll want to maximize the damage it deals, as well as giving you easier access to reset windows in the lane phase and during early skirmishes. Afterwards, you'll want to max Flawless Duet to lower the cooldown and allow you to get stuns off more often. We max Defiant Dance last, as while having more access to it is great, it is the least important part of Irelia's combo, and normally you will be able to save it for the important moments, and a single usage will be all you will need. Obviously, put a point into Vanguard's Edge whenever available. When it comes to building Irelia, the 2 core items you should immediately go for are Blade of the Rune King and Trinity Force. These items both have great synergy with her kit, with Blade of the Rune King's on-hit effect benefiting greatly from Ionian Fervor's attack speed buff, as well as Blade Surge, and providing Irelia with an additional slow to help her chase down opponents. Trinity Force provides Irelia with a wealth of useful stats, as well as being extremely easy to proc consistently due to the nature of Blade Surge's resets. Both of these items will be what you want to rush for early game every game, and will help you take advantage of Irelia's powerful early game laning and mid game dueling strength. Once you have completed these 2 initial items, the choices become a bit more situational. Death's Dance is another great item, providing Irelia with additional ability haste and lifesteal, as well as giving her the ability to survive through burst combos and take advantage of her sustain options, giving her more time to push through her cooldowns. Sterak's Gauge is a similar choice that increases Irelia's tankiness, and also will grant her a burst of survivability when she gets low, allowing her to outplay opponents and stay alive after taking some early damage. Guardian's Angel is a great item if you're snowballing, allowing you to aggressively pursue kills and trade your initial life for a key opponent, then reviving and taking down the rest of their team. More of Malmortius is a situational item that can be good against magic heavy teams, but make sure not to buy this item with Starrick's Gauge as they both use the lifeline passive and won't work together. When it comes to boot choices, your options mainly come down to the standard defensive options via the Mercury Treads or Plated Steel Caps depending on your laning opponent and enemy team composition. If you're feeling confident or are snowballing, you could even opt for Ionian and Boots of Lucidity to give yourself some additional ability haste, or Gluttonous Greaves to give yourself some extra sustain and survivability. For boot Enchants, your 3 core options will be either Stasis, Protobelt, or Teleport. Stasis is the standard choice, allowing you to become invulnerable while you wait out your cooldowns and giving you another tool to avoid important incoming damage. Protobelt gives you the ability to close the space suddenly on an opponent, helping you reach the backline easier and dive on enemies. You could also use this in combination with Flawless Duet to extend the range of your stun, perhaps allowing you to stun additional opponents, or with Vanguard's Edge to extend the range of your ultimate and catch opponents off guard. Teleport is the standard choice if you're playing Irelia in the Baron lane, as it will allow you to focus on controlling sideways and take advantage of her strong 1v1 potential while also having the ability to join your team for important fights. For runes, you'll typically want to take Conqueror as your keystone. This rune has great synergy with Irelia's playstyle, as her constant ability usage on enemies will allow her to quickly stack it up and gain a lot of additional damage. For domination, I like to go for Hunter Vampirism, granting you additional physical vamp and more physical vamp on takedowns, which has great synergy to stack on top of the vamp we're already building in our items. For resolve, you will want to choose between Adaptive Carapace, Second Wind, Bone Plating, and Hunter Titan. Second Wind should be your go-to option against ranged or poke champions, and is especially a great choice in the mid lane. Bone Plating is a solid option against champions that have all-in burst combos, as you can mitigate a large portion of their damage. Hunter Titan is a great choice against compositions that have a lot of crowd control, giving you additional tenacity. If none of these runes look great, Adaptive Carapace is a solid general option that will always give Irelia value and plays into her dueling playstyle. For inspiration, I recommend choosing Sweet Tooth to help you with additional sustain throughout the lane phase from the Honey Fruit, as well as some additional gold throughout the game. Irelia's laning phase relies very heavily on stacking up her passive, Ionian Fervor. When it comes to trading combos, you'll generally want to try to set up the minion wave so that you can quickly use Blade Surge multiple times to stack it up quickly. Your standard trading combo starts with you casting Flawless Duet. You'll then want to use Blade Surge on low health minions to close the gap with your opponent, and then place your second cast of Flawless Duet behind them to trigger the stun. You can then use Blade Surge to jump at your opponent, consume the mark, and instantly refresh the cooldown, and then begin to start auto-attacking them, using your second cast of Blade Surge either to chase and commit to the all-in, or return back to the minion wave and avoid any return damage. You can then use Defiant Dance either to catch them for some additional damage as they run away, or to mitigate some of the return damage if they try to trade back with you. Throughout any trades, you should also try to keep a keen eye on any low minions that you can freely use Blade Surge on, giving you a small heal every time you do it and allowing you to maintain your Ionian Fervor stacks. Once you have access to your ultimate, you can always start an engage by leading with it, using the slow it provides to help you land your Flawless Duet easier. Make sure to always cast Blade Surge on any target that you manage to mark, as otherwise you will overlap your marks and waste additional damage and resets. Once you're more comfortable, you can try using Flash and Protobelt to extend the range of some of your combos. Casting Vanguard's Edge and then flashing forwards will skip through some of the animation, allowing you to surprise your opponents with a quick engage. You can also flash before using your recast of Flawless Duet, allowing you to create a much larger stun that can surprise opponents. Always try to maximize the amount of marks you place on the enemy team, as this will reward you with the ability to dash around different targets and avoid damage while whittling down your foes. When it comes to teamfighting with Irelia, you'll generally want to approach carefully as she's still fairly squishy and can quickly be shut down by enemy crowd control. Keep your distance or flank the enemy team and look for an opportunity to land a Vanguard's Edge that hits as many opponents as possible. Drop Flawless Duet as you engage with Blade Surge and try to cross your stun over as many enemies as you can, taking advantage of Blade Surge resets across the fight to gain as much damage output as possible. Once your stun is landed, get your Blade Surge resets again, and try to land on key targets like the enemy mid laner or ADC and finish them off as quickly as possible. If you see the enemy team looking to focus you, try to cast Defiant Dance in time to mitigate any damage you may take, as it could be the difference between life and death. As I've stated earlier, Irelia is one of the most difficult champions that has arrived on the Wild Rift so far, but with a lot of practice and understanding of her mechanics and combos, you'll be able to enjoy an incredibly rewarding champion with the tools to create huge outplay moments. Please leave this video a like if you enjoyed this guide, as it really helps out the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the future for additional guides, including one maybe coming soon for everyone's favorite exile. Peace!